What's going on YouTube? Kronos here, and welcome back to the PSO2 video. So, yeah, I know it's been a while. Cue the tumbleweed rolling in front of the screen. I'm just joking. But I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. I just want to do a quick little PSA to you guys. So I know a lot of people have been covering this, basically reporting on it, and I want to give you guys an idea of what it actually means. So, real quick, if you're new to the channel, wow, you found this video as your first video. Crazy, right? But subscribe if you want to keep up more PS2 content. I cover PS2 as well as other games on the side here and there every once in a while. I also do stream. Well, I haven't been recently, but I do stream. You can find a link to that in the video description. But anyway, let's jump into this. So, if you guys have been following PSO2 content, which I know a lot of people haven't been per se at the moment, but you probably have seen people talk about this, they are hiring new staff for Phantasy Star. Now, this isn't anything super new. Apparently, this has been going on the JP's website for quite some time, but it just now popped up for us over on the global website. Essentially, they're hiring a new game director. Hold on, I don't think it's actually a director. No, I think it's game designer. Give me a minute. Let me double check that. It is lead game designer, not director. My mistake. But yeah, a new lead game designer as well as someone else for the team along with that. Now, that does mean that the current lead game designer probably was removed from the team or maybe given a different role. I don't know the specifics of that, so I'm not going to comment on it. But what does that mean for us as players? Well, first off, keep in mind, this is a lead game designer, not a lead game director, meaning they're not going to be the one that pushes the direction of where the game goes. They're just going to be the one that designs how these sort of things function. Now, at the moment, I feel like that's much more important for us as far as the state of the game itself. Right now, a lot of people have been talking about how the game is like really going in a bad direction, so on and so forth, which I don't understand. They've mentioned from the very beginning what the game was going to be. We saw what it was going to be, and a lot of us just played the heck out of the game to the point where we had nothing to do. And that's really the biggest issue right now with PSO2 is there's nothing to do, which is sad because a lot of us see a lot of potential for the game itself, a lot of places the game can go. It just has to get there, and if it takes too long, then people might have lost interest by the time it gets there. So fingers crossed it gets there soon, but there are some changes that the game is going to need in the meantime, and I hope we will be seeing those. As far as a lead game designer goes, that does mean that we will be probably seeing some changes to the systems. Now, as far as NGS goes, a lot of system changes that we've gotten already are very good from base PSO2. Things like, I was going to say the materia system because I compared the materia system so much, but things like our system of adding abilities, our augment system, things of that sort, upgrade systems, a lot of those things have changed for the better in my opinion. Some things for the worse, but mostly for the better overall. Now, what does this mean from a player's perspective? Well, in the short term, nothing's going to be changing immediately. It doesn't mean that the game is going to just flip around to a whole 180. It means the future of the game is probably going to be a bit different than the current state of the game, which I'm sure tons of people are super excited to hear. But it also means one thing that I see immediately, which I've kind of thought about and I've known that's been the thing beforehand because this has happened before, is Sega's not done investing in PSO2 NGS. People are doomsaying, and honestly, the doomsaying is probably going to kill the game before Sega ever will. But people have been doomsaying for quite some time now. The game is dead, Sega's going to shut down the servers, this is what NA deserves, so on and so forth, when in reality, they have not given up on the game. It's very obvious they haven't given up on the game. Well, realistically, it's not like they've pushed back anything they said they were going to be doing. They're doing exactly what they said they were going to do. They've shown us exactly what they said they were going to show us. Granted, we haven't liked all of it, and that's totally fine. You're allowed to have your opinion on those matters and voice those opinions. They absolutely need to hear those things from us from a community standpoint. That way they can make changes for the better. But to think the game is going to die, I think, is a bit premature. It is on a record low of players at the moment because, again, there is nothing to do. We don't have anything we want to log in for to play at the moment, so this is the time for it to be on a record low. Honestly, if we had some crazy event going on that was super cool that people should be playing and we had a record low of players, I'd be very, very concerned for the game itself. But realistically, at the moment, we're totally fine. Granted, probably not totally fine from Sega's perspective of making money, but as far as players go, this is about what I expect while the game's got nothing going on. When it has some crazy stuff going on, then hey, by all means, I can't wait to see everyone jump back towards the game itself when there's something fun to play or try out, because everyone is looking for an excuse. As much as people like to tell me that they don't want to play PS2 anymore, their reason for quitting, so on and so forth, people still come around and ask questions about the game itself, about what's going on, is it worth touching, is it worth jumping into, so on and so forth, because they're still looking for an excuse to do it. A lot of us had fun playing at the time that we played, and we want to have that fun again. We just have to find something we need to do in the game itself, that way it's fun to play. But that's about it, really. That's all I really wanted to talk about. A quick little PSA letting guys know that, hey, they obviously have not given up on the game, and honestly, neither have I. Hey, neither have I. I know the game itself is going to be a bit slow for a while while we wait for new content to come out, things we actually want to play, so on and so forth. So I'm just playing other stuff while we wait. And I do want to mention that the idea for the video itself, I have seen a lot of other people report on it. If you guys want to keep up with content like more consistently, like every single day, my boy Kero does content over on YouTube as well. I'll leave a link in the video description to his video. He covers this in more detail if you want to hear like more specifics about exactly what they're hiring, what they're looking to get added onto, so on and so forth. He goes into this in a lot more detail with very specific things that I personally don't, because I'm going to focus on what it means to you guys specifically. Like what does it mean as a player when you're getting to it? And basically it means that they haven't given up. So neither should you. I would keep this in the back of your mind, not really super go crazy like, oh my God, the game is totally saved immediately, but know that stuff is going to change. Things are still going to be happening. Things are still going to be popping up. I wouldn't give up on it overall just yet. But you know, keep doing some other stuff, and you know, when it pops off, just be ready to pop off. That's all I really have to say, guys. If you're just here for the news for PSO2, this is where you can dip out. I appreciate you guys sticking around all the way to this portion of the video, and I'll see you guys at the next one. But for those of you guys who were just here for me specifically, so you know what's been going on, I do apologize. I haven't really been pushing out a lot of videos. Had some stuff going on at work, as well as for those of you guys who follow me on a more personal level on my Twitter and things of that sort. I did have a family member, my grandfather, pass away. So my last, my mother's, well, on my mother's side, this is her father. So, you know, that was her last parent. So it was kind of difficult for her dealing with all that stuff itself. He was also someone I was very close to. And you guys know that I was someone that we were taking care of at the time. So while we did see it coming, it was still a little bit difficult. And I wanted to mention to you guys that it was something that did affect me and has had me kind of like in a point where I really didn't notice it until I got up one day and I wanted to go do something, and I just didn't feel like playing any video games, streaming or recording anything. And, you know, that was kind of a reality that kind of hit me. So at the moment now, though, we're good to go. I've kind of gotten, I don't want to say I gotten past it or gotten over it, but it's something that I've, you know, we've come to terms with and we're moving forward with. And there's some things I want to cover. So videos will start popping up a little bit more often. I appreciate you guys who've stuck through to this point. I know some people have left, and that's totally fine. Don't go after those individuals if they say they don't want to watch the content anymore. That's their prerogative, so on and so forth. Not that I think anyone would, but you got to say it that way. It's at least out there, right? Anyway, guys, that's all I really had to say on this video itself. Expect to see more things popping up. I did just finish a recording talking about some Star Wars stuff. Probably do a recording talking about some Final Fantasy stuff, and then more PSO2 stuff is on the way as well. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Take care. Peace out.